I've never had a song in the top 40. I've sold 5 million records. I've never had a top 40 song of my own. I've written ones for other people.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Never, radio would not play me. I was probably 10 years too early. But in my mind, I didn't care. I felt like I opened the door for Jellies and FGL and Sam Hunt. They all say that. Like, we didn't even know we could make songs like that till we heard, Ride Through the Country and No Trash and Dirt Road Anthem. So,
yeah, Dirt Road Anthem, such an iconic song. And every time you talk about Brantley Gilbert, man, that's all I can think about, because that's one of the more iconic songs.
Me and Brent, that's my song. I mean, it was on my first record. Brantley and I wrote that song. We didn't have no idea that anybody would give two shits about what we was talking about.
That is wild to me, that song, yours and Brantley's, right? And you've never had a top 40. That is crazy.
Because when Jason Aldean, he sang it on an award show first, right?
CMT Awards.
Yeah, and I can remember the next day on the radio, because at the time I worked at Frito-Lay delivering potato chips, and this was pre-Bluetooth and all that stuff, right?
Right.
So he puts that song out. The next day the radio was blowing up. Can y'all play that song? They played it 100 times if they played it once.
It's his biggest song by almost double anything he's ever done.
Really?
I think it's about to be diamond. That's 10 million.
And y'all released it. Y'all released it first.
Oh, it's my song.
Yeah,
it's my record.
Well, when it came out, I was like, I've heard this before.
Yeah,
I'm a South Georgia boy.
We had to make a video telling people, like, our fans went nuts, because at that time, me and Brantley were so underground. It was so grassroots for us. We weren't on radio. Well, I still ain't, but he is. But we weren't none of that. And so our fans were up in arms. Like, we had to make a video and the whole thing with Jason going, he didn't steal the song. He stole the song. No, he didn't steal the song.
And it's good for you that he recorded it. I mean, like,
no, I'm tickled to death. I wish he'd cut a few more like that.
He's like,
I got some more if he wants them, Jason.
He's got some doctor bills.
And then Jason returned the favor with me with Driving Around song, which is also one of one of my biggest songs. And so it's weird. I meant to watch how that's happened. And a lot of my artist friends, the last time I was here with Eric, I said that same thing. He was like, "Really? You don't?" They're like, "What about Chicken? No, no. Driving Around? No." No, no.
Twisted.
The
To
version with Tim McGraw. Have you ever heard that?
Yeah, I don't know if I've heard
There's
it.
There's a version with Tim McGraw.
Because for me, I come from a town of 2,000 people. You know what I mean?
And he related that song. I mean, they were like, "Was that your life?" I said, "It was kind of." I made it about football. Mine was more God, but it's like, go off here, and I realized I want to go back home where the good's at.
Because all I ever want to do is,
and that's probably what I've learned the most out of this stuff is. What I've chased a lot of stuff, just like you have, We want more. My daddy said, "The gap between more and enough never closes, son."
Your daddy, you need to write a book about the quotes from your daddy.
It's unbelievable. He used to tell his team. I told somebody this the other day. He used to tell his team, said, "Boy," he coached baseball. "Boys, you can run around and tell everybody how great you are, all you want to, but when you're really great, they'll tell you."
Yeah.
And that's what I've always tried. My dad was he was just such a giver and helper. And at his funeral, I forgot the story. And the preacher, they've been First Methodist for 60-something years. He goes, "I remember here one day, your daddy, they sat in the same place, right? And he was helping usher or whatever. And he come walking back down the aisle and he didn't have no shoes on. And my mom was like, where are your shoes?" It was a homeless man. They would let him come to church because it's downtown Athens. He didn't have no shoes. My dad told my mom, "I'll be back." I gave them to him. I'm going to go back to the house and get me some more. I'm like, that's who he was.
What Methodist church?
That's who he was.
Hold on, which Methodist church?
First Methodist.
Was it the one that's right down from the
downtown, right next to Georgia Theater?
Man, my stepbrother got married in that church.
No kidding. Who's that?
When was it?
Who
is it? So Taylor Schmidt and his wife Caroline, and I can't remember her maiden name, but that's the church that her family grew up in and everything else. So beautiful church too, man. Yeah. That's a big church.
And once you get out here playing in music and honky tonks, it's easy to get away. You get away from the light at the church and start following that neon. And I got away from church a long time because I wasn't never home on Sunday morning. Sunday morning I was hoping I could get back home by then. So
and then when you do get home in time, you're like, I'm
just tired. Then all I want to do is sleep.
Well, the other thing too is like you end up going to church, and you probably see this going to church. Like people want to come up to you and
I'll leave before the closing prayer.
Yep.
I don't ever want to be interrupted. People couldn't understand. Brantley made his way back to Athens and showed up at my daddy's funeral. I said, bro, you ain't got to. He's like, no. He chartered a plane, but I mean, I knew he would because that's just who he is. Mm-hmm. But and people after the, when we're talking to people after, people are like, where'd Brantley go? I was like, he thinks about stuff like that. He's like,
he didn't want it to be about him.
He's like, I'm not going to, this is Colt and his family. I don't want to talk to these people about that. I'm here for him. Mm-hmm. And everybody called my dad Coach and Coach. Like and that, some people get it. Some people don't.
Yeah.
He gets it.
I come in. I've got to where I come in after service starts and I leave before the closing prayer.
Yeah. And you see, for me, I'm not famous, but I know all the famous people.
Yeah.
So I've got people at church.
Right.
I mean, they'll say, hey, such and such is coming to town. Because I live in Savannah and we got the arena there.
Yeah.
Colt Ford's coming to town. You think you can give me some tickets?
You
and I'm
tell
like,
them, absolutely you can. If they'll buy a T-shirt or something.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, I tell people all the time, I said, I get 2 tickets.
Right.
I get 2 tickets.
It's amazing. It's amazing how some people, the way they think it works. Mm-hmm. I had a friend of mine one time. He's a ticket broker, and Jason was blowing up. He's like, "Man, can you hook me up with Jason where I can get like 40 tickets per show, and I'll give him some money after the show?" I was like, "Are you out of your mind? You think he's going to give you 40 tickets and wait for you to bring him $5,000 at the end of the night when he just got paid $1 million?" He was like, "Oh, you're not going to do it?" I'm like, nobody's going to do that. What are you saying? That's not real.
If I've got a friend that's performing or whatever, I still buy tickets for me and the family, and then I will reach out to them and say, "Hey, I'm coming out to the show. I'd love to hang out with you a little bit."
Yeah.
If they have time, they're like, "Yeah, how many tickets you need?" I'm like, No, I've already bought the tickets.
Yeah.
I'm just letting you know I'm going to be there.
That's me. I'm like, hey man,
I did it for Mark Wills. Mark Wills came to Savannah for a charity concert, right? And he texted me and he goes, "Hey man, you gonna come out to the show?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm coming." And he goes, "All right, I'll put you on the list." I said, "No, man." I said, "I've already bought tickets." And he goes, "You didn't have to." I said, "Mark, it's for a charity."
They sell his tickets.
Wow, Mark, be careful. He's a good shot.
Yeah,
be careful.
I love Mark
with a golf ball and a gun.
I love Mark.
He's pretty good with both of them.
Has his episode came out yet? His episode ain't okay.
I love Mark. What a sweet guy.
Man, he's a phenomenal person.
Before he was on the show, and before the night before, we were sitting there with him, and we were sitting there cutting up with him at the Waffle House of all places, right over by the Grand Ole Opry.
That makes sense.
He looked at both of us and he said, we were very inappropriate. And he looked at us and he goes, deadpan, he said, "Get it out tonight."
No. Get the quote right if you're going to get it right. Yeah. He said, "Y'all two need to get this shit out of your system tonight, because if you do this when you're on the podcast tomorrow, I'm getting up and I'm leaving."
Wow.
He's like, "I still have a career."
Right. I want you to do that. Let's do that. They can't cancel me anyway because they never let me have it. So
hey, he had been performing with the Gaithers all day, and for him to sit down and be like, "Get this shit out of your system right now."
He's over singing hymns.
You boys need Jesus.
Yeah. We're sitting there just ragging on him, busting his balls, and he's like, "Y'all get this out."
I miss that. I miss that camaraderie. I miss that with my guys, and other artists being out and giving each other a hard time, and that was hard to miss that kind of stuff.